It's been a while since I've made a video on a psychedelic topic. So, anyways, yeah. So I have been in the past very critical of DMT carts because they usually never do shit all to me. But I have come into possession of. I don't have it on me, so I can't show it anyways, and I probably shouldn't show it because YouTube said I'm a strike away from having my channel scrubbed completely. But holy Moses, this stuff, one hit breakthrough. Not even kidding. Don't even need to put a tube on it or anything. Just one hit. You hold it in for 10 seconds, and you hear that like, oh my god, it's like I have not had DMT trips to the intensity where like I don't even know where I am. I don't even know that I've done a drug. I just am fucking gone. Like the first time I used a tube, so it probably made that a lot stronger because when my buddy said, um, who makes them, he said, "Oh, one hit, fucking," and I was gone. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. We'll see about that. But oh boy, was he right. And I also have the DMT that's made with, and it is the most beautiful DMT I've ever seen. I did a video chat with my good friend, I'd like to say, and loyal supporter of the channel, Jonah Charlie. And I showed him it in the video call, and it's like a vial like that, and it's full to the brim, and it's just a half gram because it's fluffy white crystals. I actually haven't tried freebasing it yet because the cart is just so damn powerful on its own. But yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I did it, I was just fucking blasted right into hyperspace, like ripped out of my socks and boom, right through this, as Alan Watts says, Byzantine sort of gate. This sort of like you remember how like barbershops used to have those little spinning cylindrical things where it was like usually red and white, I believe. Well, the gates were like that, but it was like black, red, and blue, which are reoccurring colors that I get when I get a full breakthrough, and just I remember just boom right through them and into this entity that was like made of just just amorphous matter, and it just enveloped me. And I remember I got shot right into. I'm no longer going to refer to these things as the Fabergé eggs. I'm going to refer to them as the domes because I think Fabergé egg thing gets associated with the machine elves a lot. And the machine elves thing, I mean, I don't know if I've seen them. Maybe I have, but they didn't strike me as machine elves. But yeah, like usually once I get past like the first entity, I'll end up going towards this giant thing that looks like a big Fabergé egg, and it's just like this big dome, and I'm usually waiting there, and if I've done enough, I'll go in and I'll see what I call the Tryptamine Palace, which is like usually looks like a bunch of upside down cities that are like either made of gold or made of like black geometric patterns with a big like heavy layer of fog over them, and sort of hues of red here and there. But if I do a lot, then I just get shot straight through it and like into just this loop of entities where there's like thousands of them just, and that's exactly what happened the first time I came out of it, and I was like, whoa, and it was just so much. I was like, that's all I can remember from it. Um, yeah, the next few times I did it, similar. I didn't remember a lot, but yesterday I did it about 3 times, and the first time I came in and there was this entity that was made out of these like geometric spider web type things. I know I broke through because I heard that sound and the music I was listening to, just like it was really, like, I was blasting it really loud, but it became so distant and I could barely hear it. And this entity was so hard to describe, man. Like, it was like this massive space, and the entity was like this black thing kind of coming down like that and coming down to the sides like that. And it would sort of leap around and it came towards me, and I felt it like it was like massaging my scalp. And I just kind of looked at it. I was looking at it. This sort of vortex opened up, and I went right up to that tryptamine palace thing, or the dome where the tryptamine palace is. And I was waiting, looking at it, but I could feel I was starting to come down. So, oh god, I took another hit, and yeah, fucking zang, like blam, right into, instead of going through the dome, I went right sort of back to where the beginning of a trip starts. And it was like one of those entities made of snow again. At least, that's what the closest thing I can approximate it to. So it looked like it was made out of snow. And it had a similar sort of shape to the last one. And it was raining down these warm sort of snowdrops on me. And just it's funny the conversations I have with these entities. They're like, oh, you need to take a shower today. You haven't done enough push-ups. Did you brush your teeth at an angle, sort of thing? Like it's so weird, Like people talk about how, they're shown the secrets of the universe. Well, like these entities for me just like objectively will give me advice on like how to better myself in the real world. And yeah, I did it again a little while later, and I was playing music, and the entities it evidently didn't like the music, so it was just like, can you turn that off? Can you turn that off? So I was like, I could barely see, pull up my eye shades, could barely see still. I slammed the laptop shut, and in silence, just like I could hear, I don't know if I've ever heard the alien jazz that people talk about, but like I just heard the sort of, that styrofoam ripping sound when you get a breakthrough. And yeah, there's another entity that was like holding its hands out like this, and it was like telling me to like put my hands like this, and that was gonna help open my heart. And yeah, I just, after that, zoomed right up into the dome, through the dome, and yeah, just through all these crazy corridors where, like, they're like cubicles almost, all stacked up on top of each other, and entities are inside going, and it was just super, super fucking fast, and like, I never thought I'd say this in 1,000 years, but it's almost like too strong, these cards. I mean, but hey, I'm not complaining because it's like it's super pure DMT. Like it's just like the DMT itself. If you look at it in the cart, it's just completely transparent. There's no color to it whatsoever. Now there's a little bit of yellow because I've used it a couple times, so it's probably just stuff that's coming off of the coil. But yeah, finally found it. And as I said, I've done so many cards. Like I did the last batch of cards this guy made. Fuck me, I could not break through with them. Like I think I made a video saying I did, but especially in comparison to my latest experiences, they weren't breakthroughs. They were probably pretty close, but I had to take like 7 hauls, and I had to overheat the cart so much the DMT was like leaking out of the bottom of it. And I also did a cart that's actually sold in a dispensary here. I like lots of dispensaries sell carts now. It's fucking crazy. I think I may have told the story, but it's when I was working, and this really pissed my boss off when I was working in the pot. park, this dude came up and he was like, "Oh, I'm on DMT," and I'm like, "How are you on DMT? If you did DMT correctly, you shouldn't even be walking or talking right now. You should be on your ass like like." No. And he was like, yeah, check it out. I got this cart from the dispensary. And I was like, you know what? Fuck, give me those. Give me that. These things cost like $250 plus tax. I want to see if you're really getting your money's worth of this thing. And so, like, this dude, you know, I think he had some delusions of grandeur as a result of doing it. And as I say, it's not for everyone. It really isn't. Certainly not for that guy if he's thinking he's a reincarnation of a Hindu fucking goddess. And so I just like, I heated it up while holding the top for like 10 seconds and took a massive, massive rip on the highest temperature. And then another massive rip. And at first I was really fucking high. It wasn't a breakthrough, but it was like I was on like 4.5 grams of mushrooms or something. Like, you know, like everything was shifting and changing around me, and it kind of felt like chonga almost for a minute, which is weird. So there's something off about those carts. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're using like 4-ACO DMT freebase. Definitely wasn't 5-MeO. So I've done 5-MeO a couple times. Mostly like just like sub breakthrough doses, and it's like pretty visual at that point. Well, like not compared to DMT, but like it's like a light DMT trip at that point. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. So after a minute, I just quickly, just in a rapid downward gradient, was like no longer high. So within like 2 minutes, I was fucking like pretty much sober. Like I still had like I felt like maybe I was on like a gram of mushrooms, so I saw like some facial distortions and stuff. But like I was like, this is weird. That's not right. That's not DMT. There's something off about this. And my first experience with the cart was one that was custom made by this crazy fucking hippie dude who is he's kind of like an uncle figure to a buddy of mine, and he custom made this like 2,500 milligram cart, and it had crystals all over the outside of it. So like this thing looked fucking strong, and I took 7 fucking hauls off of it, big hauls, held them all in, and I still didn't break through. Like I was like I could tell that like I was very close, but because everything like in front of me, like I was watching furniture from every house I've lived in over my entire life or just stayed in, like form in front of me, but I was still in my body. And when I closed my eyes, I had crazy fucking visuals, like I would see in a breakthrough, like it was like I was like I don't know what you call these things, but I don't know if you've seen them. They're not so popular anymore now that kids play with tablets and not board games and stuff like that. But I used to have one of these things as a kid, where you put in a marble and it goes down and around through one of the slots, and you got to kind of move it back and forth to try and get the marble through. And it was like I was that marble, and I was going through these different layers, and there were these giant rainbow tentacles shooting out at me. But I mean, it wasn't at all a breakthrough. Yeah, overall, I just became very jaded towards cards, and was like, why fucking bother? It seems like a waste of money. But I was just so in awe of this beautiful DMT I got from my buddy, and he showed me the cards, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. You said you broke through in one hit? Sure, sure. Let's see what happens. And sure enough, wham bam, thank you, man. This thing rocked my fucking socks. Like I remember, I got up after about, and this is how you know it's strong, because I would break through for like 15, 20 minutes, as opposed to 5 to 10 minutes. But I remember getting up after about 15 minutes. I was still tripping pretty heavily, and I looked in the mirror, and like I grew a third eye out of my nose, and like all my eyes came together into like a cyclops eye, and like everything was just super yellow, and I could see these like spirit like beings sort of dancing around me. Um, oh God, it's oh, I'm so elated to have finally found a cart that fucking does the trick. Um, you know, and I'm frankly kind of nervous about freebasing the actual DMT because if a cart is that powerful, who knows what just 25 milligrams of this stuff would do? Because usually, um, if I manage to effectively get everything in one hit, if I'm basing it out of a like one of those meth pipes connected to a tube, uh, that's enough to break me through. Um, I've had some like absolutely wild experiences from 25 milligrams. I've also had a lot of disappointing experiences from 25 milligrams. I mean, it really depends on the batch. But yeah, like the stuff that's like orange, which is the most common, at least through my experience. Strong, it'll fucking rip you out of your skin and fucking just toss you through hyperspace, make you into a human cannonball. But the white fucking pure shit that must have gotten like a couple acetone washes or something, like it's just as strong but so much smoother. I remember like when I first did the cart, I messaged my buddy and I was like, holy Moses, these things are strong. You were right. You were right. One fucking hit is all you need with these things. My God. And it's like being a human cannonball. And I was like, wait, no, that's the wrong description. That would describe like a more jarring, you know, unmerciful, fucking rip you out of your body and your ego and fucking hurl you through the cosmos experience. I was like, no, this was more like a magic carpet ride. If that magic carpet was going at fucking light speed, yeah, good times. But anyways, yeah. I haven't been uploading much. I haven't been doing much of all or anything on the internet, except for just playing fucking Hunt Showdown. Um, Fucking wicked game to play online, but it's a game that's like kind of made me understand why people get gambling addictions, because like I'll fucking be on a winning streak and then I'll start losing all my characters. I'll have no money left and fucking I'll have to get a free character that sucks, got shitty weapons. I can't buy new stuff, so I just have to fucking hope that it pans out. And uh, yeah, I've also just been super busy, over New Year's and since New Year's. So, um, I'm also just a lot of stuff. It's, not gone super well in my favor. So I've been just kind of, admittedly just sulking in despair and loneliness and all this. I also have no new macro doses. My last macro dose was the one on Christmas. I hope to do a macrodose of LSD soon because I've got a tab. I believe it's 150 micrograms. I might hippie flip with it, but I don't know. Like MDMA just seems kind of unnecessary at this point. Like yeah, sure, it intensifies things and it makes it so like if I take it beforehand going in, like I'm relieved of some of that flight anxiety. But at the same time, I mean, it is more likely to make me feel like shit the next day as opposed to making me feel like I have an afterglow, even though this is like super pure. And I really take care of myself. I drink lots of water, I eat, so on and so forth. But yeah, because of the benzotaper and everything, it's been hard to do a macrodose except with the DMT and ketamine. Which, by the way, I had fucking two crazy fucking ketamine, like K-holes. Like I did like a big whack of fucking S, like super nice S, and there's like fireworks going off in front of my face, and I mean, I got pulled out of my body, hardcore ego death, like kind of the injuries net thing that people describe on like 4A or sorry 5-MeO DMT, where like you go back to the source of everything, where it's just black and white. Feels like you've got sucked through a black hole, and now everything that's left is black and white. Um, and I got a sense that I saw the future, but I can't quite remember it. That's kind of the problem with ketamine. You really forget a lot of it. Um, I also had another one just yesterday, I believe. I came out of a crazy state of sleep paralysis, and I was in a lot of pain, so I did this whack K and fucking wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I was fucking gone. I was gone for a while. I can't quite remember everything that happened, but I do remember it was kind of like a Tibetan Book of the Dead experience, where I went to this place that was like non-existence. It was like where souls are looking to enter new bodies, and it looked like a bunch of sort of light mandalas, sort of in a big amalgam, uh, and I remember, like, I entered, and it was like I wasn't supposed to be there, so they kicked me out and back into my body, and that's all I can remember. I know a lot more happened, but that's all I can recall, anyways. But yeah, that's those are some of my new experiences. Yeah, figured I'd share. I'll keep you guys posted on anything else that happens. Keep it real. Love you.